Hi all, welcome to Amtrak. Thank you for your overwhelming response and thank you for all those suggestions and comments that you did in the comment section below. I've read all of them. I'm gonna work on those suggestions and implement them in the next upcoming videos. But as I told you last time, I'm gonna talk about food. So that's one of my loves besides movie, music. Food is one of my loves in my life. So basically, I was born in Canada, Toronto, but since I've been the age of 6 till I was 42, I've lived in Bombay. They used to call it when I was younger, which now we call Mumbai. So a lot of food and a lot of culture influences have been from for me have been through Mumbai. So the food that I'm going to talk about today is the famous street food of Mumbai, Vada Pav. So Vada Pav, for people who don't know, is a spicy potato ball that's dipped in chickpea flour and deep fried. Uh, that's just the vada, and it is put into a pav, which is very similar to what we get here, similar to dinner rolls. And you have the typical chutney that goes with it is a lal sukhi chutney, which is basically made from the fried remains of the chickpea flour. You add some red chili and garlic into it, and you make that chutney. The other few chutneys that you add into it is your typical green chutney, the tasty Indian one, and a tamarind sweet chutney in it. So there are in Bombay. There are not only in Bombay but entire of Maharashtra, but mainly in Bombay. There are a lot of vada pav places that people would relish and like. I have picked out my top favorites based on the places that I frequent the most and the places that I kind of connect to because of where I stayed and because it was close to me, because it was convenient to me. In the comments below, type the comments whether you agree with my picks or if there are any picks that you have of yours. You could write them in the comments. I'll try to check them out when the next time when I go back to Mumbai. So the first vada pav place that I'm going to talk about is very dear to me because it's Babu Vada Pav. It started in the 1960s in the canteen of Parle Vidyalaya school. Now, incidentally, I belong to the same school. I was part of the first batch, 1982, Parle Vidyalaya English Medium, and we call it PTVEM. And in that school, in the canteen, we had Babu Vada Pav. Now, in the school times, I didn't get that much of pocket money like all of you. So, for me, more than the vada pav, what I used to relish is they used to have a 5 paisa white candy that they used to sell. That and chutney pav. So, they used to have that lal sukhi chutney and the tamarind chutney in it. And they used to give that in a pav. So, that was kind of affordable. Then, as I kept on growing up, I had vada pav from there which they have just delicious, hot, brilliant vada pav with the sukhi chutney. They also have a great patti samosa. Like usually, when we talk about samosas, usually we get those Punjabi samosas that are like thick outer batter to it. But these patti samosas are more crispy and it's got a lighter layer, like a spring roll layer. So those you used to get there a lot. And Babu Vada Pav, now it's moved out of the Parle Vidyalaya canteen and they've got few branches in Parla for sure. I don't know where else. But they also have a pretty mean Kothimber Vadi, which is again a typical Marathi dish. So that's one vada pav that I really, really love. Whenever I go back to Mumbai, the first place that I go is Babu Vada Pav to have their vada pav, or I have somebody pick it up for me. The second vada pav that I'm going to talk about is close to me because of where I stayed. Not everybody would know about it, but again, that's a vada pav place in Poonam, Nagar. called Sanjay Vada Pav, and they used to open up like at 4:30 in the evening, and they used to technically they were supposed to be open till 9, but I think around 8:30 they used to just run out of all the stuff, so they used to shut down early. Uh, the good part about that vada pav is that it was always hot because they were just always selling vada pavs. There was always a line at like 4 o'clock. There used to be a huge line till the main road, wanting to buy that vada pav. But more than the vada pav there, I think I have eaten bhaji pav, which is either potato bhaji, batata bhaji, or kanda bhaji pav. And that was what I used to eat there more. I usually used to go for the evenings for a walk in the park across. Walk was just the reason to buy some bhaji pav. That's about it. Walk wasn't really something that I wanted, but I used to go for a walk specifically just so that I could get that vada pav or the bhaji pav. So that was another great place. The third place that I'm going to talk about again is close to me because it's Mithibai College, Anand stall. Again, a great vada pav guy. It's probably been existing, I don't know since when. But when I went to Mithibai College, I probably attended less of college and was more standing there on that stall eating vada pav and having garma garam cutting chai. So that was the first vada pav that I saw that in the pav they used to put actual genuine Amul butter and green pudina chutney, and they used to also put in diced raw onions in it. So it gave that different kind of flavor and crunch when you had that vada pav. But that was a great vada pav again that I do love. But probably as I grew older, the vada pav that I ate the most was a vada pav that was in Chembur, which was Anil vada pav. And this vada pav person was introduced to me by my dear wife because after we got married, she was from Chembur. And she said that you talk about vada pav. So I took her to Babu vada pav. She said, "Oh, this is good, but I've got a vada pav that I've been eating since I was young." And that's a vada pav in Chembur. So she used to frequently, we used to drive down from Andheri all the way to Chembur just to have that vada pav. We've had like family gatherings of like 25, 30 people, and we've got two vada pavs for everybody from that place. That's again a vada pav run by two brothers. They started it as a small thing. They really didn't know it would get so big, and now I think it's in the second generation where they're running that business. They again do have their regular jobs, so their vada pav business is not their only thing. They do regular jobs, and they come back from their work and they prep for the vada pavs and sell them. It opens up around I think 4:35 because they work, and it's open again till 9. But sometimes they just wrap it up, just like the Poonam Nagar place by 8:30 if they run out of stuff. Again, another place where you get always steaming hot vada pavs, where you take a bite in it and it burns the upper end of your mouth because it's just too hot. Because they're always shelling out those hot vada pavs. The fifth place that I would want to talk about is I don't even know the name of the place. But as I grew older, I got busy with my work life. I didn't have enough time to go to these specific places because it took time to go from my place to those places. So there was a bhaiya that used to sell vada pav and bhaji pav and samosa and everything in the lane just below my house in Sher-E, Punjab. But the best thing about that vada pav was not the vada pav, even though yes, he was a vada pav guy. The thing that I used to love from him was his garlic chutney, which had like probably 3 times more garlic than what a regular green chutney has. So I liked his garlic chutney, and I liked the bread pakoras that he made. Those used to be absolutely delicious. He used to fry those bread pakoras, cut them into 4 pieces, put some green chutney on it and some red chutney on it. And those were absolutely, absolutely delicious. So these are my five top picks of vada pavs or places selling these fried street food like vada pavs, samosa, bhaji pav, bread pakoda, those kind of things. Now, Babu Vada Pav is probably the most famous out of it and probably one of the older ones out of it. I'm going to post the links with the addresses to all those places. So if you're ever in Mumbai or you're watching this video in Mumbai and you haven't eaten at any of these places, you could try going there. You might not find the last place because I don't even know the name to search it on Google. But I'll try and I'll post all those links down. Do not forget to like my video, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you're notified of my next videos as soon as they come out. And yeah, thank you for sharing my video. Thank you for all the response that you guys have shown me. I'll see you next week with another video. This time the video is going to be about a movie. I still don't know which one. I've been watching movies entire day today to kind of figure out which movie I want to talk about. I've got a huge list of movies that I actually love and thoroughly enjoy and want you people to watch those if you haven't. So see you next week. Do subscribe, do share, and do like the video. And do take care. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.